Hello, welcome to the big story, and I'm Sandeep. Shibu Soren, a towering figure in the Indian tribal politics and one of the architects of the Jharkhand statehood, passed away on August 4, 2025, at the age of 81. Known by many as Dishom Guru, a revered guide to the tribal communities, he spent decades fighting for the tribal rights, land reform, and political representation. His son, Hemant Soren, the current Chief Minister of Jharkhand, confirmed the news with an emotional tribute that described him as the soul of their movement. And this is the big story of the day. Born on January 11, 1944 in Namra village in present-day Jharkhand, Shibu Soren's political journey began with grassroots activism following a personal tragedy involving a death of his father at the hands of moneylenders. This ignited his determination to challenge the exploitation of the tribal communities and led to the founding of the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha in 1973. Over his long career, he served 3 times as Chief Minister of Jharkhand, held roles as a union minister including the court portfolio, and was elected to parliament multiple times, 8 times to the Lok Sabha and twice to the Rajya Sabha. Despite legal controversies including the Shirudi massacre case and Shashinath Jha murder trial, Soren's stature among his followers remained largely undiminished, and his influence endured well beyond his electoral votes. Let's look on the life and legacy of Shibu Soren.
श्री शिबू सोरेन।
मैं शिबू सोरेन जो लोकसभा का सदस्य निर्वाचित हुआ हूं, ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा। मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगा तथा जिस पद को मैं ग्रहण करने वाला हूं उसके कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक निर्वहन करूंगा।
Shibu Soren's life is a riveting narrative of resilience, rebellion, and relentless advocacy. Born on January 11, 1944, in the Santhal-dominated village of Nemra, nestled in what was then Bihar and now Jharkhand, Soren's worldview was shaped by early trauma. His father was reportedly murdered by moneylenders during his school years. That moment ignited a lifelong crusade against exploitation and systematic injustice. At the tender age of 18, he founded the Santal Navyog Sangh, a youth organization aimed at mobilizing tribal communities and asserting their rights in rapidly changing political landscape. His grassroots work on more formidable shape in 1972, when Soren, along with A.K. Roy and Binod Bihari Mahato, co-founded the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha (JMM), a political outfit that became a backbone of the movement for a separate tribal state. Though impassioned campaigns and fiery speeches, Soren led land rights and famously organized People's Court to hand feudal landlords and exploiters accountable, earning him the revered title Dishom Guru. His entry into formal politics came in 1980 when he was elected to the Lok Sabha from Dumka, marking the beginning of a remarkable electoral journey.
श्री शिबू सोरेन।
मैं शिबू सोरेन जो लोकसभा का सदस्य निर्वाचित हुआ हूं, ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा। मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगा तथा जिस पद को मैं ग्रहण करने वाला हूं उसके कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक निर्वहन करूंगा।
Over the decades, he held key positions including Union Coal Minister and Chief Minister of Jharkhand, each stint laden with symbolic weight and political complexity. Despite legal controversies that intermediately clouded his career, Soren remained an unshakable figure in tribal politics, championing indigenous rights and giving voice to the marginalized on both state and national platforms. His legacy continues to shape the political identity of Jharkhand and inspire tribal movements across India. Shibu Soren's later years were marked by quiet dignity and continued influence, even as his public appearances became less frequent.
मैं शिबू सोरेन
जोर से
मैं शिबू सोरेन राज्यसभा का शपथ निर्वाचित हुआ हूँ। ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूँ कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा। मैं भारत की प्रवक्ता और कर्ता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगा तथा इस पद के लिए मैं ग्रहण करने वाला हूँ उससे
प्लीज
तथा
आवाज आ
निर्वाचन करूंगा।
Though he stepped back from active politics, he remained the spiritual and ideological anchor of Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, guiding the party through shifting political tides. His son, Hemant Soren, took over the reins of leadership, but Shibu Soren's presence loomed large, his legacy woven into the very fabric of the Jharkhand's political identity. In June 2025, Soren was admitted to Sir Gangaram Hospital in Delhi due to kidney-related complications and a stroke that left him on life support for nearly a month. On August 4, 2025, he passed away at the age of 81, surrounded by family and mourned by a nation. His death was confirmed by Hemant Soren, who posted emotionally on social media. Respected Guru Dishom has left us all. Today I have become empty. The news triggered an outpouring of grief of tributes from across political spectrum. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, President Draupadi Murmu, and leaders like Rahul Gandhi, Lalu Prasad Yadav, and M.K. Stalin hailed him as a grassroots visionary, a tribal icon, and a champion of social justice. Jharkhand declared a 3-day state mourning with flags flown at half-mast and government offices closed. Soren's passing is more than a loss of a political leader. It marks the end of an era. He was among the last of India's original tribal revolutionaries who transitioned from activism to governance without losing sight of the people he represented. His life bridged the gap between the grassroots and resistance and constitutional power.
National tributes poured in after the passing of Shibu Soren, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi personally visiting the hospital to console Hemant Soren and tweeting in Santali language about Soren's lifelong commitment to empowering tribal and marginalized communities. President Draupadi Murmu noted passing as a significant loss to the cause of the social justice, while leaders from across the parties, from Rahul Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge to Amit Shah, M.K. Stalin and Sangma, honored his decades of struggle and unwavering commitment to his people.
झारखंड श्री शिबू सोरेन यहीं पे खड़े होगी, ये पड़ी है सर, ये पोल हो सर।
The Jharkhand government declared a 3-day state mourning and closed all government offices for 2 days in tribute. Parliament observed moments of silence. Shibu Soren's legacy lives on not only through political accomplishments but also through symbolic power. His life story, from forest resistance to the halls of Parliament, embodies the tribal assertion that reshaped India's federal landscape. Hemant Soren and the next generation of the tribal leadership will continue to walk the path laid by the Dishom Guru, a man whose life was as much about political change as it was about pride, identity and justice. Shibu Soren's impact on the tribal politics in India was profound, transformative and enduring. He did not just participate in the tribal movements, he reshaped their trajectory and gave them a national voice. In 1973, he co-founded the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha JMM, which became a principal force behind the demand of a separate tribal state. Through grassroots mobilization, Soren turned tribal grievances into a structured political movement, culminating in the creation of the Jharkhand in 2000. Actually, this particular Jharkhand movement was way back since more than a century, even during the British era, during the time of the Chota Nagpur days. But this particular momentum was speeded up only after JMM, the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, was established. Though Jharkhand Mukti Morcha in the early days of the state formation did not gain much political gain, but the legacy of Shibu Soren has continued, and even now it is continuing through his son. His leadership helped the tribal communities assert their identity and demand the land rights and push for the forest protections, issues that had long been ignored by the mainstream politics. This is the main thing why the Jharkhand statehood has been gained a political momentum, because all the natural resources are in Jharkhand area while the rest of the Bihar is enjoying. Rest of the Bihar is the plain area, agricultural area, but most of the natural resources, the forest areas and much of the revenue is being generated from the Jharkhand area, but the expenditure is being shifted to the plain land Bihar. And the Bihar mainland is having more number of the MP seats, and that is also one of the reason behind the political momentum of the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha. Initially, this is started as a tribal movement by Shibu Soren. Though this particular Jharkhand statehood demand was there even from the British era, on and off this was to some extent sidelined. Probably it is through the political alignments or because of some other forces, but once the JMM has formed, it earned the political momentum even in the other circuits like the BJP or the Congress, and finally it gained the statehood in 2000. Immediately the NDA government has formed, but whereas later on the complete political leadership has shifted to Shibu Soren and even continuing now.
Briefly, please.
पूरा देश में हम लोग न्याय के लिए सबसे आखिरी न्याय के लिए हम लोग संसद में पहुंचे हुए हैं। ये छोटी सी बात नहीं है, इतनी बड़ी बात जो प्रतिभूति घोटाले के में जो समिति बनी थी, उस समिति का रिपोर्ट के आधार पर जब कोई इतना बड़ा घोटाला में चोर नहीं पकड़ा जा रहा है, हम लोग नहीं पकड़ पा रहे हैं, सांसदों का इस्तीफा का यही सबसे बड़ा मूल कारण है। हम लोग संसद के ये समितियों की रिपोर्ट किया, हम सांसदों को चाहिए कि संसद से ही हम लोग रिजाइन करें। क्या फायदा? हम लोगों ने पिछले बार देखा बोफोर्स कांड तो बहुत 65 करोड़ का था, उसमें तो एगो लोहा भी आके खड़ा है, काम करे या ना करे। लेकिन ये 5000 करोड़ का घोटाला और इसका एक चुटका भी कहीं से पता ना चले तो संसदीय कमेटी बनाने का क्या फायदा, ये रिपोर्ट बनाने का क्या फायदा, और हम लोग बहस करते हैं इसका क्या फायदा। यहाँ तो कोई बात सुनाई की मतलब ही नहीं है। देश के लोग क्या कहेंगे कि संसद लोग पहुंचे हैं, 5000 करोड़ 8000 करोड़ का घोटाला हुआ है, पकड़ा जाएगा, फल्ला पकड़ा जाएगा, चिल्ला पकड़ा जाएगा, लेकिन देखो तो चूहा नहीं पकड़ा है। इसलिए बड़ा अपमान का बात है। सारा देश क्या कहेगा, हम लोगों को क्या जवाब पूछेगा, क्या जवाब देंगे जनता के बीच में। हम लोग तो कुछ दे नहीं पा रहे हैं, सारा देश जल रहा है। इसलिए अध्यक्ष महोदय, हमारा कहना है कि जो संसदीय रिपोर्ट बना है और जिसमें हम संसद के जो मेंबर बने हैं, जो उनको दावा है कि इसमें दोषी व्यक्तियों का निशानी होनी चाहिए, उनकी पहचान होनी चाहिए, तभी हम लोगों का इज्जत बचेगा। और वरना हम लोग को संसद में आना और फिर इस प्रकार का प्रणाली बनाना कोई फायदे की बात नहीं होगी। यही हमारा कहना है।
Shibu Soren has become the Union Coal Minister in the Manmohan Singh government, but was asked to resign following an arrest warrant in his name in the 30-year-old Shirudi case. He was one of the main accused among 69 with allegations to kill 10 people, including 9 Muslims, on 23rd January 1975 in a clash between tribals and Muslims. After the warrant was issued, he initially went underground. He resigned on 24th July 2004. He was able to secure bail after spending over a month in judicial custody and released on bail on 8th September. And he was re-inducted into the Union Cabinet and given back the Coal Ministry on 27th November 2004 as a part of the deal for a Congress-JMM alliance before the assembly elections in Jharkhand in March 2005.
उपाध्यक्ष महोदय, आज जो चर्चा हो रही है और इस चर्चा में बहुत सारी बातें आई हैं, मुझे कहना है आज देश को चलाने के लिए आज संयुक्त मोर्चा बना और हम लोग समय समय पर बहुत सारी बातों का चर्चा करते हैं। मैं छोटे राज्यों का सवाल उठाता हूं। जब छोटे राज्यों में सवाल उठती है तो राष्ट्रीय दल ही लोग बोलते हैं छोटे राज्य को मान्यता मिलना चाहिए, उनका समय समय पर विचार होना चाहिए। लेकिन ऐसा तो नहीं हुआ, अभी तक तो किसी ने छोटे राज्यों का बात नहीं कहा। उनसे समर्थन लेकर के अपनी सरकार बनाना या बचाना या चलना, कुर्सी का बात अभी तक हुआ है। छोटे राज्यों का मसला आपको पता है, सारा हाउस को पता है। झारखंड ऑटोनोमस काउंसिल पिछली सरकार ने हम लोगों को दी और उन्हीं की सरकार पहले भी थी, आज भी है, जनता दल की संयुक्त सरकार। बिहार के मुख्यमंत्री ने आज तक झारखंड ऑटोनोमस काउंसिल को अधिकार नहीं दिया, एक पैसा नहीं दिया। और हम लोग दलित हैं, आदिवासी हैं, हरिजन हैं, पिछड़े लोग हैं, ऐसे लोगों के लिए भारत सरकार और भारत के बाहर भी वर्ल्ड बैंक से पैसा लेकर के पिछड़ों इलाकों का विकास करने का बात किया जाता है। वो बंदर बाट हम लोग को जनप्रतिनिधियों को मिलाया गया है वर्ल्ड बैंक के तरफ से, या जो पठारी विकास काम चल रहा है। हम बोला हमसे अगर सरकार को गुस्सा हो तो ठीक बात है, दूसरे दल के लोगों को भी रखिए आप, कांग्रेस के लोगों को, बीजेपी के लोगों को मेंबर रखे जो एमएलए एमपी हैं। ऐसा नहीं हो रहा उपाध्यक्ष महोदय, बहुत तकलीफ में हम लोग हैं। और पूरा बिहार का स्थिति तो आपको मालूम ही है क्या हो रहा है बिहार में। और मैं खास करके आदिवासी के तरफ से कहना चाहूंगा कि आदिवासियों का समस्या का हल।
Soren's influence extended beyond the state boundaries. He served multiple terms in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha and held key ministerial positions in the centre, including Union Coal Minister. Despite facing serious legal controversies, including trials related to Shirudi massacre and the Shashinath Jha murder case, his stature among the tribal communities remained largely intact. He was revered as the Dishom Guru, a title that reflected his role as both a spiritual and political guide.
Jharkhand, Sri Shibu Soren.
यहीं पे खड़े होगी, ये पढ़िए सर, ये बोलो सर।
मैं शिबू सोरेन,
थोड़ा जोर से।
मैं शिबू सोरेन राज्यसभा का शपथ निर्वाचित हुआ हूँ। ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूँ कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूँगा। मैं भारत की प्रभुत्ता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूँगा तथा इस पद के लिए मैं ग्रहण करने वाला हूँ उससे कर्तव्य तथा पूर्ण निर्वाचन करूँगा।
His legacy lived on to his son Hemant Soren and the continued relevance of JMM in Jharkhand's politics. More importantly, Shibu Soren proved that tribal voices could not only be heard but could shape the destiny of a state and influence the national discourse. His life remains a symbol of resistance, resilience, and the power of grassroots leadership. Hemant Soren, on speaking about his father's death, went emotional, saying, "The Guru has left us."
बहुत ही मर्माहत करने वाला दिन है। देश के आदिवासी के नायक, जिन जिनको दिशोम गुरु के नाम से भी जानते थे, आज शिबू सोरेन जी हम लोग के बीच में नहीं रहे। आज सुबह सुबह इनका निधन हुआ, लगभग 8 बजे। काफ़ी लंबे समय से वो बीमार चल रहे थे। कई बार स्वास्थ्य में अच्छी सुधार देखने को मिला, कई बार हालात खराब होने की भी स्थिति बनी। आखिरी वक्त तक उन्होंने संघर्ष किया, अंतोगत्वा आज इनका निधन हुआ। हमारे पास शब्द नहीं है आज के इस महान व्यक्ति के हमारे बीच से निकल जाने की।
आदिवासियों के नेता के मंत्री, लेकिन आपके पिता भी
Tributes poured into Shibu Soren, the revered Dishom Guru from across India, honoring his lifelong commitment to tribal rights and social justice. President Draupadi Murmu called his passing a significant loss, while Prime Minister Narendra Modi praised his grassroots leadership and advocacy for the marginalized communities. Leaders like Rahul Gandhi, Mallikarjun Kharge, Amit Shah highlighted the pivotal role in Jharkhand's creation and his humble nature. Regional chief ministers and parliamentarians echoed the sentiments, recognizing his legacy as a political icon and symbol of resistance. Soren's death marks an end of an era, but his influence endures through ongoing tribal movements.